What I like the most about Carline Auto Parts is that they don't just sell you an oil. They take their time to educate you on exactly what your car needs. And luckily, they told me about this amazing product for my car's transmission. Booster is the best transmission oil that you can find on the market, and take it from me. If you've ever had a transmission problem, you know exactly what it means to be in those shoes. So get the best product and save yourself the trouble. Call Carline Auto Parts here at East Legon. Call them at Dacoman, and bro, get yours. My sister, get yours. Don't waste time.
Carline Auto Parts, your car solution.
Living in Ghana, abroad, a first-timer visiting Ghana, or a company wondering where to get quality service providers in Ghana for any job? Then Ejumapa On Demand Services is here to assist you. Ejumapa On Demand Services connect requesters and service providers such as masons, plumbers, electricians, auto repairers, home and office cleaners, trash collectors, rent agents, spa attendants, roofers, beauticians, teachers, CCTV installers, and all artisans on one platform. Yes, one platform. Trust Ejumapa On Demand Services to sort you out any day, anywhere, and at any time. To download the app, please visit the App Store and Play Store or visit our website www.ejumapa.com.
Right! Ebusia for mama about SBTV Africa, so I hope so be on SBTV Africa fans, new ones ever on board, new followers, and fans of SBTV Africa, old school for no sumichobia. 5:30 about and Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Na only Mr. Friday be 5:30 to 7. No, many lawyer wisdom akaho, Wiseman solicitors, UK, London. Many baby train come on na. A very important. Because a very important. Not just a programmer. Sauti. Moi mo pesa mo ko UK. Moi mo UK. I think I got application. And then they see. Prime Minister sitting, cabinet sitting, new laws ben aba, sika ben no mobile beje. Ye be kwan ben so de be fasoni ade, and then lawyer wisdom akaho, Wiseman solicitor ba be din come. You're live on Facebook page SVTV Africa, and you're live on YouTube channel SVTV Africa. Making sure so be tap on subscribe, be like here page, you know. All the questions beba, question time doer. Me better screen so ma lawyer so I den one no into a question be obese obisa na obetimi bisa na make sure say comment section no be type or time no do say obisa questions na ye the better screen so into we be join here make sure say link no obe share when you boss so mention don't watch alone, just tap on the subscribe, share my obi or WhatsApp so or Facebook a share or wall so man for just share. And we the boss so I know I say. Enti ye fami DJ nyame, ye go straight na me ne eye lawyer wisdom akaho enkodi nkomo. Lawyer oh. Okay, once I me train lawyer say lawyer beba no obetimi the questions na ba the comment section obetimi type o Facebook o drop o comment section time no do o share o YouTube so make sure say o share and then new measures na ba UK. It's a UK phone there. Minim the umpers on much say, Grown must be boo, said then. No one and answer on Meka say, in some way. Once I may try lawyer wisdom Macao, Wiseman solicitors, Obaba joining me there. Na you try not to so, not just say go straight. Lawyer, okay. Once I train lawyer and I'm say of fixing the 1-2-1-2 be said, Oba. Menene beto so me twen no asin oye ready a menene beto so na it is all share live on SBTV Africa or Facebook and your YouTube channel SBTV Africa, the voice of the community. Only say Fridays be no 5:30 minutes program we bremonti for our comments bra, for our questions bra. The opposite ubisa lawyer no we know unkotua ubisa no have free no we wa no. The chair wadwin so bia no betimi bisa no de ohia bia information bia bia no based on ade eba be discussing so questions so bisa na obetimi bisa no Gaps Isaac also thanks for the good job bro. Okay, nice one. Thank you so much. Me train lawyer wisdom akaho wiseman solicitors na ombe join ne. Once I me train no, also bit me prepare questions about bisa no say voice note so na obey ya ma memfa your voice note no. Voice note on WhatsApp. So won't even type here. Me dey share me dey two screen so until wait me ebisa no. Time in the doer, a voice note. And maybe many obiana etimi a type into say. So won't mean type of questions now. Wait me a voice note no na or the other. Naman na media two screens so wait me prepare a voice note, short, brief. Obi a person will be sana no be sano. Salome, big shout out to you. Nice one, Salome. Greetings. And I'll show you Facebook. But join your YouTube now. I'll show you Facebook. Salome, SBTV Africa fan. It's me trying lawyer wisdom, Macau, Wiseman solicitors. So, Obebana, ya started till. Okay, the once I be train lawyer no, mama memfa o infam na membra back. Sisi ye train lawyer wisdom Macau no. Memfa commercial back on trim. Me just remember commercial even know about.
Oh, hello, people. My name is Kali Boss. The only boss. Oh, wait, what else? Have you heard? Wait, do you know that Tap Tap Send is live in Texas? Oh, you didn't know? We went to New York. Now we are live in Texas. So people in Texas and around, all you have to do is to download Tap Tap Send. Yes, Tap Tap Send has become the most unique, secure, and fast way of sending money across the world to your loved ones anywhere. Okay, so download Tap Tap Send on Google Play Store or App Store. And when you're in Texas or around, you just have to put in the code TXGH. What did I say? TXGH. And you get $10 for your first transaction you make. Mahama media, Texas, you drew, huh? Very soon we'll conquer everywhere. Download Tap Tap Send now on Google Play and App Store. Tap Tap Send. It's secure, convenient, easy, and fast.
Okay, my back. Kofi Otua Hene, or see DJ, you do or you to do or to make sure say you share the link. Mo share my friends. Salome share or so. Mo share your Facebook, mo share your YouTube, no so. Mo share link in my friends ni ade no mo be join here. Mami go straight me or lawyer wisdom Macau Wiseman solicitors. Lawyer, where's all for? Oh Mike na mute show screen so Mike na mute.
Okay, Uncle DJ, Nyame.
I don't know, machine na chua swana.
My laptop now, yeah, me using a hear problem. I have to use the phone. Let's hope so no calls come in.
And the mom friend, na just say the two do not disturb. But
okay, my minion is ours before we launch full time. So yes, it would.
Okay, the lawyer say the two do not disturb. No, about back. Once we sort it out, you know. Many lawyer wisdom, Macau Wiseman solicitors, and then about new measures ben about UK. Hey, into Musi visa fee the end day. Hey, Charlie, Ombeku, you see, I know Muyaska. Inti one Babako UK, no more was near the Muntif, feel I had a brem, UK command a baby dinty. Or country be Europe, and I say. Baby sa shinge and shinge we be the UK nkomo nti mo am UK and wa wo Ghana opeso ko UK and no nkomo na e ba be di wa bibia fa UK ho baby sa lawyer ade bia en fa UK ho bibia concern UK fa UK ho na baby sa na no betime yi ano baby sa no Aisha de me na ba o shinge for betime bi sa no but we UK nkomo na e ba be di na shene so every Friday bia no e na many program we educative program we na program say amount for crash share omo person to kwan omo akwantu omo so deda na omo UK ho no very important program ba ya na de bia me kadodo na no few ones na pay we look smart now. Look pa. Mo go for be message me nyam meti o program this aboa me easy meti kwan. Bebre ka bebre. E na me ka jom so na mo me ka o show no so no mo ntie. Bebre o se meti o program this we watimi adjusting itself. Sa ehunyama so here we mo be no connection. Anyway, mami go straight. Lawyer. Me mo akwaba lawyer wisdom aka wise man solicitors boko there.
Adumo na wonso e.
Ye da nyame ase. Lawyer, na go straight say me won say time no kakra ko nti. Ye go straight. O say mo PM ne say dan mi hu bibi sa o say dan.
Ye chia etie fo na unfortunately me gidi say well, unfortunately for us and for applicants, UK had a problem in terms of immigration. Debia bibi wo. Menim say amon pese ye bo ana ya yo amon pese ye nko ana just say ho. And si debia na just omo di bibi fro eba. Now, say long those years ago na ukoya application for it was free of charge. Who sorry I offer passport and work home office e ho ani e same amount. Kakran na musisa ye edi course as a utia application fee. And echo parliament under section 68 of the Immigration Act 2014. And Omukai says the Secretary of State has power to set immigration fees. The Secretary of State, a hundred amudi too many, a share Secretary of State and Sasa, but me set the immigration fee. If you want not almost starting kakra, a bit was as low as £150, and an air cost to 250, 480, kakra. And now you want here, I say, sir, we application. Different categories of applications attract different fees. Sir, entry clearance application. Would the Maminka say, would be any figure na eba? We read an open episode in the over to home office fee of about £1,610. Home office fee in Kwanenum. Number two, IHS, Immigration Help Surcharge. I know it's about £2,000, about 1,990 something, which is almost £2,000. Into the Nimi and Oboma is about £3,600 for Nipa. Now, so what do we read? And now any woman and an air bar. Then you have to multiply that amount by the number of people you are coming with. And assuming it's your wife and your 2 children, then you're looking about 3,600 times 3 people. That is over £11,000 just to come to the UK. That is Enayeka say. A few days ago, now Prime Minister Bediwe just said, I said there were strikes some time ago, teachers 4% call strike, and nurses for aircraft strike, some increments in their salaries and everything. Now, Prime Minister said, look, Sekano Ebiniho, but we negotiations eventually increase teachers' pay. That is what they claim they have done. And then they've also, I believe, come to some agreement with the nurses as well. On that basis, Prime Minister say there is a shortfall of about £1 billion. £1 billion, not million, no, £1 billion, which was not budgeted for. And because of that, somebody has to pay that money. Immigrants, no. So unfortunately, any voice to speak against these increments and so. And the Prime Minister said, immigrants will have to pay to make up that £1 billion shortfall now, which was not budgeted for. And don't see, almost see from, they haven't given a specific date, but the Home Office has decided, say, they are going to increase application fees. there's going to be a huge increment in application fees. A date has not been fixed yet, but we believe very soon. Tuusha, set Home Office application fee will go up, and then the IHS near Immigration Health Surcharge, which is to use the NHS by a friend of Immigration Health Surcharge. Near government any kind of say there will be a fine, there will be a fee increment from £624 a year, 624 a year to £1,035 a year. 624 to £1,035 a year. Now, so we hear application be ewo krom hana more 2.5 years. You have to multiply that amount by 2.5. So normally clients will pay £1,560 for the 2.5 years. Now, 1 year is £1,035. So you have to multiply that by 2.5. Somebody can do the math for me. £1,035 times 2.5 years. And no, any sika ubetria in the UK for your and any sika ubetria in the UK for your health and care, not health and care, but for the okay, sorry, yeah, okay, that is how much you have to pay for your IHS Immigration Health Surcharge. And no, any sika ubetria £1,035 a year. That is it. And so, example, say, if you have a family of 4 people, you'll be paying over £11,500 in total, and that is home office fee alone. 11,500 in home office fee alone, and then you have to pay about £15,000 in immigration health surcharge. That is for a family of 4, maybe a father, mother, and 2 children. You have to pay £11,500 in application fee and about £15,000 in immigration health surcharge. That brings you to over £26,500 just to be in the UK for 2.5 years. Not for indefinite, but for 2.5 years. You have to pay that amount of money to be in the UK for just 2.5 years. That is a huge increment in the fees or in the change in the fees in the UK. That is way, way, way unacceptable. But that is what the Home Office is doing now. Unfortunately, there is not a lot of voice for people who cannot pay these fees or people who are going to suffer from paying these fees. So what happens is the Home Office has also made provisions that say, "Hey, idea won't to mean just as a year. People who are your friend fee waiver. Fee waiver actually say, so you share with situation one, you are destitute. When is the car with about your application fee? When is the car with about Diane? Until you can do a fee waiver application, and with the fee waiver, even though you are required to pay the Home Office fee, if you can prove that you are unable to pay, they will waive the fee off for you so that you don't have to pay. And yes, I'm with the atuho. Now, so I'm with the provisions what to says so want to mention, then you can do application for a fee waiver in the UK. But the question is, how many people will be successful in the fee waiver applications? How many people will be successful in the fee waiver applications? Because so for fee waiver, you have to provide your pay slips for 6 months, your bank statement for 6 months, all the bank statements you have to provide that to show that when it's a car, one for a uncle tech our baby, and a wabasa who pay Home Office for almost sicker. So you have to provide your pay slips and your pay slips and your bank statement for all your accounts that you hold. Then You also have to give us a total breakdown of all your income and expenditure. How much you earn, your food, how much you spend on food, your travel, your rent, your what do you call it? I've mentioned travel, but your, let's say, utility, your leisure, everything, hairdressing, saloon, all those things. You have to list everything: miscellaneous, debt payments, credit card payments, loan payments. You have to state all of this. How many people can do this before they give them the fee waiver? So it is becoming very, very difficult for people to get through fee waivers. And see, the Home Office for ANSA, they will bring this increment, huge increment, very huge increment. Not a lot of people can afford. The problem is, so for fee waiver application, you have amount, nasa, unisi kansua, na echere uvisa no ebe wunu no, uvisa ni wa wabaye overstayer. We are overstayer, they want to come after you and take you back to your country. So that is the kind of difficulty the system is creating for immigrants. Omo krom ha no, omo asitina no, omo British, EU nationals, omo indefinite, omo ntiahwe. But yenga ye what 2.5 years, and yenga ye pese ye kofa ye busuafo ba no, omo na yang na ye di sa eka no abegu yensu. For no fault of ours, we have not caused the problem, but we have to pay the cost of somebody's increments in their salary. Unfortunately, that is what it is. So, let me emphasize again, the Home Office is going to increase application fees and immigration health surcharge. They haven't given the time that the increment is going to take place, but we believe most likely from October, because that is normally what they do, is either in April or in October. That is when they increase the fees. So, application be SSOER. I would advise you, once you qualify, make that application now. Otherwise, the change or the increment in the fee would affect you. The increment, and yes, sir, £20 and not £30. This is huge. From $624 to £1,035 for 1 year. That is a huge increment. So, I will say it again. If you have an application to make, if you are qualified, if you're eligible, please make sure you pay or you make the application before the time is due. Otherwise, you will have to cough out that amount of money to support your application. So, DJ, that is what it is. What the Home Office has decided to do is also to scrap the fee waiver, the fee application for the biometric enrollment. Normally, so you have to pay a fee which is £19.20. I know the almost year fee. Almost the case now, but almost £19.20. Meanwhile, they brought in for you to pay about over almost £500 difference, because minimum what to make calculation from 624 to 1,035. How much is that? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of increments. 6,035 to 1,035 minus 624. That is a huge increment. Home Office for Eddie Ebabetuja. So please, if you are eligible to do it before the changes come. Another thing I want to say, normally, so be what NASTA or your application, and now you run a card, not or your replacement, you have to pay about £161. And also, almost if you hope, if you hope, the £161, they have to take it away, and the £19.20, they are taking that one away. But the increment is going to come. If you don't apply before then, you will have to pay the huge. What was the difference in the calculation?
Oh, lawyer, man, your calculation. No, for me, I mean, sorry.
At 1035 minus 600 and 106.
1035 minus what?
624.
624. Ebe 144. Ebe 411. Sorry,
411. Yes. So boom, boom, 11 masu straight away. 411 pounds. And I'm for 1 year. So times 2.5 years. Multiply that by 2.5 for me to say.
1,027.5.
Yes. And tell me the 1,027.5. And the other count 1,560. And see, that is so huge. How many people can afford this? So huge. You know, 100 be a lot of money, but we can still manage with it. But 411 for a year times 2.5 years, that's a lot of money for the Home Office to add to application fees. Apart from that, the Home Office fee and Kasaba cost and all the other fees will also go up because your increase will be salary. We, the immigrants, will have to pay those huge differences. Into Obina will be catching I can't cry UK because I had to say here the changes are so draconian and it's like punishing the people for coming to the UK rather than rewarding them for contributing to the economy of the UK in one way or the other. So this is a serious update. Me percent with the etuja. If even though the Home Office has the power under Section 64 of the National Immigration Act 2014, it does not mean that they should be able to just increase it so much to the extent that people will be unable to make applications to stay in the UK. However, my counsel said, apply for fee waiver. You don't have to pay a penny to support the application. So that is what I can say to that effect.
Okay, lawyer, yan hwe we mu nyina no so no omo bas visitors visa ne anyama ne nyane ne sa increment ne nyane so beba ho.
They be visit visas
students ne sa omo yan cheche mu different visa categories ne so beba ho.
Yes, students about affected one. About affected students. Now students were paying a reduced fee. But now they are also going to increase it for them. Students were paying £470. Now they're going to be paying £776 per year. It was 470. They've increased it to 776, or they will increase it to 776 per year. That is for students. That is also a huge increment in the fee. 470 to 776 per year. But visit visas are not affected. Visit visa is for people who are coming for 6 months or more. Visit visa is 6 months and below, and they are not affected. But anybody who is coming to the UK to settle or as a student for more than a year, for more than 6 months, or in any other category for more than 6 months, you will be affected by the increment in the fee, and unfortunately, you will have to pay that before your application will be considered. If not, the application will be refused.
Wow. I think so, lawyer.
And we'll see
lawyer check it, cross check it,
yeah.
Cross check on net. And I crime say a network number for man answer BBC because line break here. Lawyer check it on internet. And I crime. I think say a breaky into yanti lawyer and kapapa line breaky. A very some can say a very important way I discuss it. Obi wo on tie we later no abeka se na minimo sisi ano increment bebre aba na o ka no nti se wo ba be ko UK dia na wa ko stay ana wo ko school ni ade dia kanene de se de utua no homo de bia be kanka woni ake ngofu yi homo pese be bo kroma na se de homo de bia be kanka woni ade o en na mi bi se bisa the categories no so wa kire mo say o call stories there and the nyewe enka ho but o kwa kokemu akoye uko school and na so ko tenemu more than 6 months sese no sika na 1 year above there. Not just say, oh no, open pressure, Charlie. Cash, you go spend cash. It no be easy, Charlie. It no be easy. Anyway, multiple questions, Samba, and Cheme Bisan lawyer. Question be about Bisan, be out share live or SVTV Africa. So, your YouTube live and your Facebook page, SVTV Africa, your live. Or many lawyer wisdom akaho. Wise man solicitors. Na many program every Friday be 5:30 to 7. Many no ha. Bibia kon FA UK home. Bibia FA UK home. Bet be Bisano. And Bisan a different country. Bibia FA UK home biano. We don't see us here. Bet me Bisano. Lawyer back. Lawyer. Welcome back. Now I'm so net no.
Thank you.
Yes, on Starby.
Yeah.
But what about any the categories now, sir?
David, so there's a huge category. So entry clearance for spouses. Would you Yuri and I will eba ubetria the increment in the fee. That is one. Number two, would you wumba eba UK under Appendix FM section EC-C ubetria the increased fee. So would you Yuri my bonus under Appendix FM section ECP ubetria the increased fee. Another one. If you are coming as a student, you'll be affected to pay the change in the fee. Se wudi upapa anawu maame eba as an adult dependent relative on you, you'll be affected by that fee. Omuba for health and care visa route and so TF2, TF5, charity workers. As long as you come in under that provision and you'll be here for more than 6 months, you will have to pay the increased fee. That is for people coming from outside. In the UK, no, the categories near application either as a parent or as a partner. So if you are applying as a parent, application that will you attract the increased fee. And no, currently home office fee and the IHS is a total of £2,608. So UPA super priority. In other words, you want a quick decision, you pay extra £800. In that case, sir, if you don't want the extra £800 or the quick decision, then you have to pay the £2,608. You'll be affected with the change. Now it's going to go more than that because the 1,560 is not going to go up by plus another 1,000 plus. So you'll be looking at way over £3,000. So that is for Omanwe Awaria to switch from, let's say, parents or Unia citizen based on Uba. You have to pay that. Then those who are getting married, so who are in now your application based on your partner or your spouse, you also have to pay that fee. It's going to affect that category of persons as well. That is also so. So we are students now. Wawari and Wawari Ubiawa Sitina, and you want to switch from the student route to the partner route, you will also be affected by that change. So we are students and you want to switch from partner to parent because Uoba, you would also be affected by the change in the fee. So all in all, there's a wide category of people who will be affected. I mean, before they can raise £1 billion, that means the net has to be very wide. British citizenship, they don't have to pay that because for them, they don't have to pay the IHS. However, I suspect that because they don't have to pay IHS, the Home Office may increase that application fee, which is currently around 1,330. It is very likely the Home Office may increase it beyond that amount. That is what I suspect they will do. And also, there are other categories. Maybe you want to switch from a tier to spousal route. You also be affected by that change in the price of the application fees and the IHS. So along the way or across board, the Home Office has made a lot of changes and people are going to be affected. I also suspect that Mofra application mawon, which is based on Asia Upano Krumha, what's not Krumha for 10 years. Ukwaji British naturalization for the child or registration for the child. Adults are called naturalization, children are called registration. I suspect the Home Office will increase that fee as well. And now, who will ha, who are sitting at, who pursue your application, ma uba, ononia sitting at, the Home Office likely would increase that as well. Now, DJ, for them to raise 1 billion pounds, it means the night has to be very, very wide. And they are going to change a lot of stuff, a lot of changes in terms of this cost to raise the £1 billion. Those who are coming as based on ancestry visa, if your father or your great grandfather was a British citizen and you've been able to trace and you want to come on that visa, it is possible those fees would all increase. So it's going to be a wide net to catch a lot of people before they can raise that £1 billion. Obia sending me a message say, is it fair that immigrants should pay for the cost or the gap in the UK's budget? Is it fair? Well, that is a question we all have to answer. Why can't, because the Prime Minister said he's not ready to increase taxes and he's not ready to do some other stuff. And therefore, the burden has come to fall on we who don't have a voice to say our countries should argue for us, or applications from outside the countries can't argue and say no or yes. And therefore, we, the vulnerable people, are the people who are not going to pay the cost of the increment in some other people's wages. So the net is going to be very wide and a lot of people will be affected.
Wow. Lawyer, and Chebia, some few months near better say about issue by almost say students here, best school to me for family money at the SR. You be cancel me, I say some mayor back could be raising before parliament because I you can say the pressure be more system and answer more economy in the and I don't do baby and I say I start increment.
Yes. I know the
international students may fire why a money krumuma. Into this year no. Na enu baby I cry within a year now na start page nyame.
So the thing is, a quite be a fast to control immigration, no, they will do it. Every means by which they will control immigration, they will do it. As long as the law gives them the power to do that, the Home Office will do that. Of course, you see students from January next year, they cannot bring their partners. I don't know, and Kiki started here, and the whole lot of other stuff. Students cannot switch from the student route to work route until they finish their course. They also want to set checks there, etc., etc. It's not even started. It hasn't even started. And now, way ever. So indirectly, they are killing two birds with one stone, more or less. It's going to reduce the applicants in terms of immigration control, and it's going to give them money as well to fill in the black hole or the gap in their budget. Two results by making one decision. So it's unfortunate, but that is what it happens to be.
For the different countries near there, you guys almost started quite that.
Near Everson said, also the Home Office now almost not said there is a shortage in a particular area. She said that this health care, there's a shortage in that area. We have Migration Advisory Commission. Advising government said, a Juma statistics there is shortage in a certain area. There's shortage in ABR teachers, shortage in nurses, shortage in maybe example butchers, shortage in brick workers. Then based on that advice, they let the government know that, look, can you open this chance so that people will come in? So UK had here, say, and for other countries, that wouldn't be a problem to them, as long as they can also identify a sector where there's a shortage and people will by all means come. My brother, no matter what happens, as for the UK, people will still come here. You know why? Because of the English language. Ekuro bi wɔ hɔ a wokɔ so a borɔfo no ɛnyɛ common wɔ hɔ, especially these European countries hɔ no. Ɛyɛ a na ɔmo language na ɛha adwene. But ha no, because of borɔfo no a yɛn Ghanafoɔ, because of our level of our education, the system is all taught in English. It is easier for us to flow here and other English-speaking countries than to go to other places. So the UK, they know the UK is a hot spot, attracting people. That is why they know people will still want to come. That is why, maybe partly for a reason why this is so.
Omunya scan no mo hwe ne wi a ombete so.
Menti is I call down that.
Eti na mi so omunya scan mo pe wi na aka o. Enya ade e ba fo.
David, Ebeka. Because Ebeka, Kadi Ebeka, if you are now Ebeka so kakra, maybe the increment is going to be very small, incremental, small increments. But where they are too huge, this is so huge. Mengun such a huge change that's from 624 to 1,035. That's so huge. And because they want to fill in that gap of the £1 billion, Prime Minister Kayan, that is what it is. So the immigrants will have to suffer and pay for this. But Mackenzie said, apply for fee waiver. Apply for fee waiver. Fee waiver, and I was checking the list of fee waivers now. Fee waivers. I did it for a family of 4, another family of 5, over £10,000. They did not have to pay anything because we were able to prove to the Home Office that these people, the money the mother makes is not enough to look after the 4 children, let alone herself. So if you look at her salary, that's her income, her expenditure in terms of maintenance, food, travel, utilities, debt payments, and all other things, there is no way she can make it. And the government waived that off. Over £10,000, they did not have to pay anything. So if you cannot pay, please apply for fee waiver. If it is granted, you don't pay a penny. So that is what it is. At least, a provision for to me, so genuine now to me, apply for fee waiver, and your application will still go on. Make sure you apply for the fee waiver before your visa expires or before your leave expires. So we leave no echo home officer and technically a wui, but so one yanisa not say a woo ever someone you are stuck. You have become an overstayer. Your visa has expired. You become an overstayer. They can write to you to leave the UK. And interestingly, Nancy so we share under section 94B of the Nationality Immigration Act 2002. Now, near Omudiabani said why your application be human rights application, and they think that it is unfounded or you don't have any good basis for the case to succeed in court, they will be your friend to certify. They certify your decision. Certification means that deport now and appeal later. Deport now, appeal later. Deport and you can appeal later. You'll be asked to go out of the UK, deport first, appeal later. Deport first, appeal later. So they know some people may not be able to pay. If your fee waiver is not granted and you're not able to pay, you become an overstayer. You make an application, they refuse you. If you go to court or you can't succeed or they certify your decision, they tell you how to go out before you apply from outside to come back to the UK. Deport now, appeal later. That is under Section 94B of the Immigration Nationality Act 2002. So the Home Office is bringing a lot of changes to make it not easy for people to stay in this country. So you must also advise yourself that whichever way legally you have to employ by seeking legal advice to prepare yourself before anything happens, I would advise you to do that so that you don't find yourself in a situation where you'll be found seriously wanting. Thank you.
Lawyer, na me hu say afi na bi mu abɛjoin yɛn, but na ɔmo bisa me hu so bi atwerɛ sɛ da bɛn na saa mmara wei no. But me guys also October or after October mboa.
They be omunyam for date and marry, but usually some increasing fees it's either in April or October. It can happen anytime, but they haven't given us a date yet. They have not given us a date yet. But usually increments take effect in either in April in the October, you never know. It can be next week, it can be 2 weeks time, it can be 3 weeks time, or it can be October. So between now and then, anything can come as in the form of announcement that the pay or the increment will take effect. But today, as we speak, we have not been given any specific date yet.
Okay, so mo amobisa sa question no. I think the comment section the mo bisa bebre na bisa the same question, but let me go back na me share ebi mo question. Obi bo abaso SVTV Africa fan bi bo so anti wangasa kan.
Salome Koi. Hi, Salome. Yes, I visited Lawyer on Thursday, and I must say I felt appreciated with a warm welcome. He embraced me with my first time seeing him and his team. Big ups to Wise Muscle says. Thank you, Auntie Salo. It was a pleasure to see you. It was a real pleasure. And every step of the way, we walk with you to a successful outcome. Thank you. God bless.
Okay.
Brave man.
You take more questions. Why? More questions. Be person movie lawyer no famra. Question time. The lawyer ain't take away. Random questions. Who will be bisa no on the topic and now bet me there. But who will be full person will be san be chiwadwe so na bibia. How person will be san no bet me that to comment section or be come out. So lawyer ain't take away, brave man.
Very good. Thank you. Brave man. I'll say would your is this high lawyer is my question is to lawyer is, will your UK visa be rejected if you fail to put your travel history in the application form? Would your visa be rejected if you fail to put your travel history on the application form? Now, the travel history only just helps you yourself. If you've traveled to other places, it helps you. In fact, it just makes the caseworker believe that you are not a person who is coming and will not return. So they know that you have a travel history, you travel in and out. If you wanted to stay in those countries, you would probably have remained there. So I would say, if you have a very good, sweet and savory travel history, please go for it, put it there. If you don't put it there, and nobody knows the kind of checks they do in the background. You and I can tell what they do, the kind of checks, the kind of research they go, the countries they contact. We don't know. If you don't put it there and they go and find out something, that may affect you. So I would prefer you put it there rather than not, which may end up affecting you.
Okay. Lawyer can wait. So there.
This is why I've been saying that we, those in African abroad, must know that country's law will continue not in our favor. Therefore, we must always think doing business home. Well, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. I mean, it's going to be extremely difficult to that laws will be so generous to open the floodgate for people to come in. They want, like I always say, they have a duty to check immigration control. Can you just imagine if the gates are open that everybody and anybody can come to the United Kingdom? Can you just imagine? it will be disaster. So they have to put checks here and there. It might not be fair, but that is what it is. So yes, if you can build and do some good business back home, of course, home is home, but it's down to the individual to make their own decisions when it comes to things of this nature. How much would you pay if you are a student and change your status? Now, if you're a student and you want to change to, let's say, a spouse visa, you want to change to a spouse visa, currently, as we speak today, you have to pay home office fee is £1,048. 1048. That is the home office fee. Then you pay the IHS, the immigration health surcharge, and that is £1,560. That goes to the home office. It is a total of £2,608. If you want a quick decision, then you have to pay an extra £800 for the application to be considered within 24 hours. That brings the total to £3,408. And excluding legal fees, if you want to do it yourself, you have to pay £3,408. That is if you want a quick decision. If you wouldn't want a quick decision, it's £2,608. That is how much it will cost you. But if you are switching from student to maybe a tier route or a skilled labor route, then of course that will cost you a different amount altogether, which is far less than what a spousal route application or a parent route application would cost you.
Okay, so I'm saying on the way to also.
Okay, how about if you are an asylum seeker in Europe and you did put it on travel history form? Well, asylum seeker, I mean, the question is more about whether you have traveled to these countries. They don't really go into details as to whether or not you sought asylum. So if the question says, have you traveled to any of these countries? Then of course, preferably, you should disclose it. Remember, you will take your fingerprint, you will provide your fingerprint, your biometrics. Now, once you provide your biometrics, I do not know the kind of system they run the biometrics across. To know whether you've been in another country, whether you sought asylum in that country, I cannot tell. So to be on the safer side, in order not to be refused and banned for 10 years from coming to the UK, I would say if you can, just disclose it. Because you have a duty to disclose, frankly, all the information that is required. Otherwise, the Home Office say you have withheld information from them, and that can be used against you if they find out that you have been in any of these countries and you did not disclose it. A bit late today, but yes, I don't know how my muscle question fits into today's event. I want to know from lawyer if I can travel to other countries whilst I have applied to other countries you applied to. The question is not complete, so if you can complete it for me. Now, what I know is if you make an application to the Home Office or to the UK, they collect your passport. Now, once they collect your passport, you are not able to travel out of the UK. So I would say if you would need your passport to travel to any other country, the question is incomplete. I'm only guessing that maybe my response will fit into the question. If you would need your passport to travel to another country, then of course you can't travel until the Home Office returns your passport to you. But let me chip it in here. They have brought in a system where you can pay extra for Home Office applications now, or for applications from Ghana. It is, I think, £573, 573 on top of the application fee. So you pay the Home Office fee of £1,610, you pay the IHS of about £2,000, and then you pay the express fee of 573. I think your decision will be made within 2 weeks. They tell you 6 weeks, but we did one yesterday. We did it last week. Just yesterday, we got a decision. It was less than 2 weeks. They made a decision. It was granted. So that is something we have to take note of. Quick decisions can be made if you pay the extra. That is not in response to my friend's question, but yes, I responded to that by saying if you need your passport to travel to another country, you have to wait until you receive your passport from the UK before you can travel. If you withdraw your passport, if you ask for your passport, it means you have withdrawn your application. You forfeit your fee, the application is cancelled, you have to apply again and pay the fee all over again.
Okay, lawyer wisdom Macau, wise man solicitors. And I'm no every Friday, the nominee 5:30 to 7. More questions now, Sunday, and a lawyer, major who will be people for better because I'm train. More questions, and I think so far as me who questions, and then I'm okay. Sana me who no. On the topic of the buyer, so far as me who questions be about to be, and I just say the other buyer and then the topic, the other buyer, no. I thought so, but before for a while, person will touch on now with me.
Yes.
Touch on it.
Yeah, may I say, from observation for the last 2-3 weeks, the weeks before, but last 2-3 weeks has become a lot now. DJ, what is happening is a lot of people are being refused visas, especially health care visa applications now. They are being refused because of non-disclosure of information from previous applications. Seriously. They are being refused because of non-disclosure of information from previous applications. That is why I would insist that if you have been refused a visa before, please provide that information. If you do not provide it, your visa will be refused. If it is refused, you may be banned for 10 years from coming to the UK. So why don't you just disclose it? Even if it is refused, you can go for administrative review. But if you don't disclose it and they refuse you, it becomes very difficult to advance any reasons why you did not disclose it. So I would say just disclose it as long as you haven't had any criminal record. It's not like you're a criminal. It's just because an application was refused. And probably you know the date or you use an agent. If you use an agent, please contact the agent for the details. Otherwise, your application will be refused. You may be banned from coming to the UK. This is what I have observed. It is going on. A lot of applications are being refused, especially the health care worker visa applications are being refused in their droves, in their numbers. Please don't do that. Don't withhold information. That is it. And also, now, the other question or the other thing I want to put out is this. If your application is refused, what do you do? Or if your application is rejected, what do you do? Now, there is a difference between application being rejected and application being refused. Sometimes we use these words interchangeably. Sometimes we can say refusal amounts to rejection or rejection amounts to refusal. But in the strict sense of the word, rejection sometimes means that you have not complied with all the required procedures of making the application. Example, I have made an application and I am supposed to go for my fingerprint, supposed to go and provide your fingerprint and they take a picture of your face and your fingers. Now, if you do not go to provide that, your application can be rejected. Rejected, not refused, but rejected. Or you have made an application, you have used the wrong application form. If you use the wrong application form, they may not refuse application, but they will reject it because you use the wrong form for the application. Or you have made the application and you are supposed to pay the IHS. That would help them process the application. You didn't pay. In that case, your application can be rejected. Or you are supposed to pay the home office fee, which you haven't paid. Your application will then be rejected. So rejection can mean that your application hasn't even passed the first stage of the process, and therefore it was rejected. So you can go back. Now, if your application is rejected, what do you do? What you can do is they will tell you why it was rejected. Just go back and correct that error, and then you can submit a new application. Make sure you correct the error, and then you can submit a new application. If they said you did not pay the IHS, then quickly make a new application and then pay the IHS. If they said you did not pay the application fee, then of course you have to correct that and pay the application fee. These days, it becomes very difficult to even submit application or even go for appointment without paying those fees. But if you happen to use the paper form of application, if it is online, there's no way you can go to the next stage without paying. But if it is paper application, make sure you correct it and pay the correct fee before you go to the next stage of the application. Yes, so that is what it is. Now, if the application is refused, what do you do? If the application is refused, what do you do? It means that it is gone through the first stage, second stage, and then a final decision has been made. Now, if the decision is made and your application is refused, there are options you have. Options may depend on the type of application it is you've made. Some applications, you do not have the right of appeal. Example, visit visa application, you cannot appeal, but you may go for administrative review if you think you have a strong case. So if it is refused and you don't have the right of appeal, then you may go for actually judicial review, not administrative review, but judicial review. That is for visit visas. You can't appeal. The right of appeal has been removed and you cannot appeal. That is one. Now, if you have the right of appeal, then you can then decide to appeal or do nothing. If you appeal, then what happens is these are the stages. First of all, you have to look at the reasons for the refusal. If there are 4, 5, 6 reasons for refusal, please address all those reasons that they refuse the application on. Review and address the reasons for refusal. If they say you didn't provide proof to show relationship, you want to do DNA, you can do it to address that. And of course, if they said you didn't provide a particular document, you have it, please, you can provide that in the appeal. So address the reasons for refusal and prepare the grounds of appeal, and the reasons for the grounds of appeal will attach or would address the reasons for refusal. So there's something we call grounds of appeal. In the grounds of appeal, you say you wish to appeal against a decision under section so and so of the Tribunal Procedure Rules or the Nationality and Immigration Act so and so. You put it there, and then you say in your refusal decision you said at paragraph 1 that this and so was not done. I wish to respond that. You put it there. The second one, the third one, the fourth one. After you've drafted the grounds of appeal, now let me put it this way. For your appeal to succeed, it depends to a large extent on the grounds that you base your appeal on. Let me say it again. For your appeal to succeed, it depends on the strength of your grounds of appeal, that is one, and the documents you have to address the reasons for refusal. So you address the reasons for refusal in the grounds of appeal, and then you lodge your appeal. You go online and lodge your appeal. When you lodge the appeal, you then have to pay the right fee. It's either you want paper hearing or you want oral hearing. So let's say your application is refused, visit visa, you cannot appeal. But maybe you want to bring your spouse, your husband, your wife, your child, etc., etc. If it is refused and you've been given the right to appeal, you have to prepare the grounds of appeal, address the reasons for refusal in the grounds of appeal. Once you do that, the next thing you have to do is you have to lodge your appeal, and you pay the appeal fee. It's either £140 for oral hearing, or £80 for the paper appeal. The difference is this. Let me explain the difference. Paper appeal means you will not go to court in person. You yourself will not go to court to talk. No lawyer is going to go to court to talk. You have prepared your documents. There's something we call witness statement. You draft your detailed witness statement into detail. Again, addressing the reasons for refusal, which you first stated in the grounds of appeal. Now you break it down into smaller parts and you address it point by point by point. And if you have reasons why that took place, you have to explain. If you have documents that you are using, you have to state them in the witness statement if you can. So you address, I'll give you an example. There is an appeal that I am doing now. This morning, I had to take a witness statement from the father of this child. The Home Office said, the entry clearance officer said, when you used your birth certificate, you said your mother is not involved in your life. Your mother is not involved in your life. It's only your father who is the one looking after you. However, we realized that the birth certificate you provided, on the birth certificate, it says the informant, the person who took you to the register the birth, is your mother. And you are telling us that your mother is not involved in your life. Meanwhile, 2 years ago, your mother took you to register the birth. How do you respond to that? Sometimes they say, or maybe last year you registered the birth, your mother's name is on it, or your father's name is on it. Your mother is saying that your father has never been involved. For the past 15 years, your father has never been involved. How come that his name is on the birth certificate? How come that he's the one who took you to go and register? There is a solution to that. You have to respond to that. How come? How did it happen that your father's name is on the informant section rather than your mother's name? We have to respond to that in the witness statement. And also, they said you claim your mother is not involved in your life, but you haven't provided any evidence. That doesn't make sense. Let me put it that way. If the person is not involved in my life, how am I going to get any evidence to prove that he's not involved in my life? If I get the evidence, that means I get the evidence from my father, maybe a letter of consent, that means he's involved. If he's not involved, I don't know his whereabouts. Of course, I can't get any document from him to prove that he's not involved in my life. So that is a moot point which can be addressed, but you have to state that in the witness statement into detail. Then you prepare something we call the bundle. The bundle is the documents you are using to support your application. Birth certificate or marriage certificate, DNA reports, pay slips, bank statements, tenancy agreement, WhatsApp messages, money transfer receipts, emails, school certificates. All this will form part of your bundle. So you prepare something we call paginated bundle, detailed paginated bundle. You prepare index to bundle. The index to bundle tells the judge where your document is on the bundle. So index to bundle, you can have number 1. So the judge knows number 1 is your witness statement. Number 20 is the marriage certificate. Number 40 is the DNA report. Detail index to bundle, and then you prepare your bundle and prepare it very well. If that is prepared, then you go to the next thing, you submit it. Then you go to the next thing we call the skeleton argument. Now, the judge or the court has not got time to listen to your case from morning to evening. The court has other things to do, have other cases to hear. And because they don't have time to listen to one person's case for the whole day, you have to prepare what we call skeleton argument. Your lawyer can prepare the skeleton argument. I doubt if you yourself can prepare what we call the skeleton argument. Skeleton means numpe ana samai. So it means you are giving them a summary or the skeleton, the summary of your whole case. You put it before the judge before he even goes to the hearing. Before he comes to sit down, the judge has said it. The skeleton argument, you have to talk about the case laws you are basing your argument on, the statutes you are basing your argument on, the immigration rules, the policy guidance, you have to state all of this in your skeleton argument. That under paragraph so and so, it says this is what I want to argue. Under article so and so, this is what it says, this is what I want to argue. Under section so and so, this is what it says, this is what. So you set out everything in your skeleton and you put it before the judge. So before the judge even comes to court, he already knows the argument you want to make, which makes the case pretty straightforward. Then taking that on the side, you have to submit the skeleton argument and the bundle. Then you also expect to see the respondent's bundle, that's the Home Office bundle. And on that bundle, they also tell you why they are saying they should not give you the entry clearance or the visa to come to the UK. You also have to respond to whatever points they raise there. Normally, it is only the same refusal decision plus other documents that you send that they return to you again. You look at that. So that is for paper appeal. For paper appeal and oral appeal, you still need to prepare the same bundle. So if it is paper, one kasa won't go court. You are not going to go to court. You will not go to court. You just prepare the documents and send it to the court, and the judge will sit down and look through the papers and make his decision and say, oh, what you are saying, I agree with you. And therefore, go ahead and therefore, I allow your appeal. Or what you are saying or what you said on your paper, I disagree with you, and therefore, I dismiss your appeal. That is the paper. That is the disadvantage with the paper appeal, because you are not in court for the judge to ask you questions for you to respond to his questions. Yeah, that is the disadvantage with the paper appeal. But there are some cases which is straightforward. Example, if they say the child is not your child, or there is no evidence or to prove the relationship, that is only one issue. That single issue can be addressed by doing a DNA, and that's it. That is a case that you can win if that is a single issue refusal. But if it talks about, or if it touches on your, let's say, credibility, we don't believe you, we think that you are not telling the truth, that is not a case where you can do paper appeal. You have to do oral. Oral means you are going to court to talk. You will talk and your barrister will talk. Or you will talk and your solicitor will talk. Now, there are some questions that the lawyer cannot give evidence. The lawyer does not give evidence. They only argue on the law. The lawyer does not give evidence. So the lawyer cannot answer whether you and your wife or you and your husband live in the same house. The lawyer cannot answer that. That is for you to answer. The lawyer cannot answer when was the last time you sent money to your child. That is not for the lawyer to answer. He is not supposed to give evidence. So if you go to court in person, they will ask you questions, and then you respond to the questions. What was the last time you sent money to your child? You say, oh, it was just yesterday, and this is the evidence. The judge looks at it, the judge is happy. What was the last time you visited your child? It was 2 months ago. I just came back from Ghana. This is my visa. This is the ticket. This is the stamp in my passport. The judge looks at it, is happy because it's already on your bundle. So at page number so and so, the judge looks at it, is happy. The judge has any questions. How many bedrooms do you have? The judge will answer and say, oh yes, it is. You answer and say it is 2 bedrooms. It is enough for me and my child. The judge looks at page number 27 or 57. If the tenancy agreement is there, the judge is okay. The judge asks, the Home Office will also ask you questions. You have the opportunity to respond to their questions. But if you are not in court, there is no way you can address these questions. The judge will make the decision based on the doubts he still has in his mind, and your appeal will be dismissed. So I sometimes prefer oral evidence depending on the type of case it is. Some cases, paper appeal is better. Some cases, oral hearing is better. So that is what you have to do. Prepare witness statement, prepare bundle, prepare skeleton argument, send it to the court. If it is paper appeal, the judge looks at it, makes a decision. If it is oral hearing, you go to court, they ask you questions, and you respond to the questions. If the judges, even though you've made your statements, the evidence, you have to give oral evidence as well. You'll be examined in chief, you'll be cross-examined, and you'll be re-examined. That is to make sure that whatever you've said is consistent with whatever is in front of the judge. Now, once that is done and the judge is pleased with your case, your appeal will be allowed. And then we take it up from there again to ask the Home Office to endorse your passport or to endorse the child's passport so that they can come and join you in the UK. So that is what it is. Now, if your appeal is allowed, end of case, we progress for you to come. If the appeal is dismissed, there are stages we have to go, and that will take another day. Maybe I'll look at that next week and see how to address if your appeal is dismissed. What are the stages through which you have to go through until maybe you get to the Supreme Court, if you can go that far. So, DJ, this is what it is. Preparing the bundle to court, the witness statement, it all depends on how you do it. And I can assure you, you get a result out of that.
What was mystery? What will lectures to know? Or being full lawyer? What will lectures to know? And this man, lawyer wisdom Akao, senior man, senior lawyer.
I beg.
I'm out for chocolate no more show. You see how he did from? And the guy said, "This man, your case no go in there where you go lose that."
If it be good case.
It's important. Say, pay attention, because this man, he be hard man. I won't be saying one question. Say, me go UK, me go an interview 3 times, Anna. Go to office. Yeah, 3 times, Anna.
3 times, yeah, right. You share 3 times.
You call your punchy. Me say, "Actually, I'm for feeling. Me come in the office. Me say, hey, man, wait, hey, Charlie, be serious, man, no." Let me call home. Still, I say, Charlie, you did for the way you. I did hear cool. I listen to you. I say, hey, this man, a painful lawyer wisdom. What put 2 points in? You see, viewers not much trying to cry. How many questions on maybe solve you? Because what the name you mom and then topic, you know, the questions on maybe some actually the name number the almost can be at home. Aside that, the media too was a question for friends, so baby so I think said Omatias here. Inti nyame adoma. Akabe 12 minutes near upon. A last minute questions via money questions were reserved. Nyame adoma next week. Obeba. Now, more UK so more issues. No better me numbers the good screens no. Obeba the address maybe an office war. Mediana me can be an Mahoka. I was there and oh McDonald's Dawson around Dawson Market also. Lawyer wisdom always my solicitors. Madam says some question we maybe sana madam I say mo show SVT we have a lawyer for contact that screen so address postcode
yes, address. Thank you. DJ, me person may that all the people who watch this program, say I am grateful. It's a privilege for me to be able to at least give out some information to my people. Those who want to benefit, of course, you can benefit from it. Those who want to learn from it, we are all learning. So because before I come every day, I have to make sure I know I am on the ball. I don't just come and give anything. So thank you for challenging me to always be up too. Thank you. And then many clients live at my office and Oma Osini Yuri Ewa Ghana and a man buy and see share this as and I'll try screenshot of many where and all the signing also any couldn't buy the I say I saw you, I say yeah, that is me. And to your friend Obano, she was so pleased, and it was such a pleasure to speak to somebody because they watch. And it's a pleasure, it's just a pleasure. I always say we are all here for such a time as this. Who knows? The next few years, we may not be here, but we are here. And as long as we are here, we give out the best we can. We are serving our generation, and that is what we are here to do. That is what we are here to do. And wise man solicitors, we are here to help, to assist as much as we can. Suits 8 to 9, the Print House, 18 to 22, Ashwin Street, London, Dalston, E8 3DL. 8 to 9, the Print House, 18 to 22, Ashwin Street, London, Dalston, E8 3DL. Telephone number 0208 0165 384. 0208 0165 384. Mobile number is 079 31 411 042. 079 31 411 042. That is the office number and the mobile number. Yeah, email address nso ɛwɔ screen so. Yɛwɔ McDonald's akyi ɛwɔ Dalston Junction. Yɛbɛn Dalston Market no. Yɛbɛn Dalston Market. DJ, last time me call me I don't know. I just went to buy something in the market. DJ, amani ame every 5 steps mefa obi be jina me. Every 5 steps mefa obi be jina me. Oh, Missy, Mumbra pay for consultation. I had the market idea. We can do consultation in the market. So it means we are close to the market and we are making impact in the market as well. So please feel free, call us, book, come in, and we are more than happy to help you. We are behind the McDonald's, close to the market. DJ, we are here for such a time as this. As long as I have life, I will do the best I can to my people and to help my people as much as I can. Akpenami, DJ, Maune Jomo.
Thank you so much, Lawyer Wisdom Akao Wiseman Solicitors. Mo share SBTV Africa. No, mo comments by mo mo comment and so I hope say topic of the by no mate because they're very important. So we are on we must say later corner say prices and say and say oh they are too much near there. Information is be say near the bremo no. Mo share no. Madam say me share comment section and me share Kobe question no one fa the can answer so but thank you so much for dropping your comments. Brave man, thank you so much. Melinda Jacobs, thank you so much. Kobe Praise, thank you. Henry Dakwa so thank you so much. Salomon Kwe, thank you so much. Henry, okay. Rich Solo, thank you so much. Enoch Aqua, Datsun, thank you so much. SBTV Africa. Green Zone GH, thank you so much. Amazing Grace, Comfort USA, thank you so much. Also trying USD. Many me lawyer, US lawyer, lawyer Ekepoku. Many the baby be busy no. Me we be crime best many very important pa US folk. I mean bisa lawyer with Aka so what and fan no ba me bisa no. Lawyer recently what US for measures somebody about borders some crossing from Mexico near there no deport omo ya chi we na ebobo nsa no near there edro die no kra na me pese me lawyer Poku here about also lawyer Poku there obe bless how
very busy
and na me say come Martin to omo crossing so what be bisa na pese me bisa.
Yes, I'm fully aware of the measures to restrict people from crossing the border. So, Nanka, former president, a friend is saying Trump or building wall across the border. But
when you must start a crowd, new video, I mean, who here?
Yes.
How much a cheap moment the chain to 2 months criminals being there? Oh,
exactly. U.S. system, not yet.
Oh.
U.S. system, no, immigration issue. Some with you are handled like seriously. One shot, me anka sanka many people are work say or okay, now mommy about the experience over US or see the change between the 97 year criminal. And he was telling me about his experience. And honestly, even though say I want a British citizenship, or your Esther one famano. And the system that the treatment is hard. And that is what they are doing now. Try to stop people from crossing the borders to the US from the Mexico border. The system is there. They are effectively now. Biden was a bit soft on the immigration system. They are making it very tough now. But lawyer AK Pokubema more details. So she'll give you.
Yeah. Because they mean, you know, Urema, the emergency rooms is here now. What you are, and I just say, my process so near the normal fly back to Ukro maybe I'll free, I'll buy a drone DNA, and Yadia, just say, I'm going for now, but a drone, the wrong person will be my view.
Debbie.
That's my mood.
Mama, updates about asylum case. Yeah, na you said you call Rwanda, UK from UK.
Yes,
Mama
last year,
update on-
last
Exactly.
time, almost say Rwanda for no money judges who said they only will
Exactly. See the system is not tested. Faith. The charities are not. They don't have the capacity. The legal system in Rwanda has not stood the test of time or has not been processed to see that whether the people can challenge the decisions. And see, nobody is going to be taken to Rwanda from the UK until there's a change, which is very good. So last week, maybe I know
and
excellent.
almost anka boys see hustling from frying pan to fire. Boys, they say ko Rwanda, they say me akwa nya haya ne ewo.
And the second feature honey for you.
People break do ewie na wo so dey back. Charles Adia no so dey anka be adwen. Anyway, lawyer me that's stop pass it through SBTV Africa, so me making sure say me the US updates be brem the ACC ni ade e show we so any other Canada any other places me be my Canada kakra my ekipoku aye kakra me ni Aisha every Thursdays be 6 enyumre Ghana time to 7-1 and a Fridays mini UK mini lawyer wisdom account kakra na menya different countries and the person mu obi ano mu bo hu ni ade nti mo amope musu to me friend say mo pe Poland phone bi me Poland phone also akodi nkomo bisa de ekoso Poland ni ade I mean the updates in your on daily hustle worldwide so the only on the internet madam production team as DJ Click Sharon and I think I like it share for I drink bra a video so no me no cause a new one boom I drop it by 3 me signing out to you another one beba videos there more but so person buy show the subia only me number say that we share mo kroma obeka say den cause 2 na ma just 2 so 2 akramo